it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yep.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today? Uh-oh. Oh, jeez.
That was a
big pen rip. Oh, God.
Gotta start every show like that. Yo, I was a little bit bummed after the Olympics last week that it was going to be slow until football started, but actually Little League Baseball's got me through this week totally in the afternoons. You can watch like 3-4 different games.
Okay, so you're watching a lot of the action up in Williamsport, World Series. Okay,
Venezuela, baby.
That's your team? Is it
Venezuela? Because they're just the best.
Okay.
Nobody's going to beat them.
He's a bandwagon.
He's hopping right on for the Venezuelans. All right, yeah. Little League World Series is always cool to watch. I've seen the reactions of some of the kids when they lose. It's just like, man, that sheer disappointment just crushes them sometimes.
Yeah, the PA team had a good run, too. They lost their very first game and had to go all the way through the losers bracket. They just lost the other day, but they made like the final 6 American teams or whatever out of like 16 or 18, whatever it was. So that was good to see.
Yeah,
but the thing is, the Venezuela team is an all-star team of the whole country.
Oh, okay.
We got our different regions and all that shit. That's a whole country all-star team.
It's a little loaded then. It's a little unfair.
A little.
It's always cool too when I think Major League Baseball is doing Sunday Night Baseball there again. I think it's this Sunday.
They did it.
Was it this past
It was the
Sunday?
Yankees and
Yankees
Tigers.
They already did it? Okay.
Yankees Tigers won on a.
They
had a couple Yankees like in the booth, like commentating the game and stuff like that.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, the Phillies did it 2 or 3 years ago, I think. That was really cool.
And somebody was burying Judge in the media today about not being there to support his New York teams.
Oh.
I don't know. Something came across my timeline today. But all the players back Judge. Totally.
Well, New York just lost to Florida the other night, so that might be what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Guys, we want you to go on our social media and rate who had the best draft. So
me.
Hack's putting himself over right away.
Easily, Ty cheated. I won.
Ty did not cheat.
Yes,
so we were down there at
5 matches. Bullshit.
Suplex Vintage Wrestling this past Saturday. We did our ECW fantasy draft. We had a blast doing the show. I thought it was a really cool show, and
those guys are great.
Yeah, I love them. Chris and Mike and
they're
Roman.
just regular dudes like us.
Yes,
that love wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody down there, top-notch crew. Pedro, who you called Stat Boy, was working the camera. He was helping us with some of the hack checks to see whether or not people were eligible.
He treated me very well during that whole draft.
How much was the payoff before he went into the room?
Well, you snuck in some guys that people wouldn't think of as ECW guys. Like
that's why his team's weak.
Because they're not.
Well, so the Steiner brothers had more than 5 matches in ECW.
7.
Jimmy Snuka, Dusty Rhodes.
7, and a couple of them are run-ins.
No, they weren't.
Jimmy Snuka.
Hey, the show that we're reviewing today, Jimmy Superfly Snuka is on the card.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen.
See, that's one of the counts that shouldn't count.
It's because it was a 40-second match or whatever it was.
Listen, it's just a different strategy. Don't be a hater.
Yeah, he had a different strategy for the draft. So we wanted.
No, you had shitty rules.
You're blaming my
5 matches, dude. 5 matches is not enough to go on this list.
But a lot of guys...
It really isn't. It should be over whatever he won with Snuka
7?
and freaking the Steiners.
You want it to be a 7 limit?
Yeah, all this back and forth saying my team stinks, but I think you're worried that I'm going to have the best team, so that's why you're trying to bury the rules and find any way out of it.
People don't care.
They don't care about think you drafted the best team
anymore.
If you think you drafted the best team,
easily drafted the best team.
Then why are you worried about my team?
I like my roster, but I did say...
that's a good point.
in our group chat, I did think Hack had a great draft, and then he was like, "Shut up." After I texted that, he's like, "Shut up."
And the other guys tell me I stole 4 of their freaking picks.
Well, you did. You had a really good team, man.
Dude,
I
that's
liked
what
it. I
happens
liked
in a
your
fantasy draft.
Yeah.
People get picks stolen all the time.
Right.
No,
Yeah, I'm
I
going to
had
steal a
great
couple of
strategy.
ties in our football draft in a few weeks.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I have my draft tomorrow night. I picked 7th. I don't know who I'm going to take
I
at
picked
7th.
7th on one
Who do you
draft.
think I should take at 7? Hack.
What are your rules? PPR, non.
It's no PPR. You get a flex, 2 receivers, 2 running backs. Hack,
You
who
let
should-
the board dictate.
CD Lamb.
You want
He's gonna be
CD
gone
Lamb
before
at 7?
that,
Okay,
I would
that
think.
would be your. You like CD Lamb? Okay.
Well,
Not unless that contract
I'm just
doesn't
saying
get
that, like your McCaffrey's are
Gone.
you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. At that point, you got to be a wide receiver, a decent wide receiver, right?
I would think
It's
the best
kind of-
receiver.
it's
In
but-
kind of
non-PPR, you
shifted.
go running back.
It's
But
kind
it
of
is the most
shifted.
shift in the
Even
wide
in the
receiver.
non-PPR, like, man, there's a lot of wide receivers are going top off the board now. Like, there's just not those bell cow running backs like there
There's
used
not.
to be. Like,
I kind of don't like
But
any
like
of them.
Saquon's going to be for us this year.
Oh, Saquon could very well be there at 7. So would you take Saquon or CD?
I could not take Saquon with having a new offensive coordinator and having so many different shifts on
That
our
doesn't
offensive line.
matter so much in the NFL. All the
Okay, well then how come
all
any
the
NFL
offenses
player
are the
says
same.
that?
All the offenses are the same.
for running.
No, because goat means this when you're saying raven in this.
Okay, but you're still running the same route.
It's
Just-
not
you're
the
just
point.
saying
You don't know it
different
because
terms.
you know it as a goat route, not as a raven route.
So, Hack, I think you do have a point about the terminology.
Did you ever hear the plays that those guys call? They're calling 10-second plays in the huddle.
Yes.
Then
The
nobody-
name of the play is different, but they're running the same shit.
Then nobody would ever be successful, Hack.
Oh, all right, my point is everybody says it your first year in the system, like they're saying that's why Jalen Hurts was in a different system, different calls for different things. All the guys say it that I listen to on the radio. This
hear-
ain't my idea. This
know.
is what the pros tell me.
I hear your point, but then nobody would ever be successful when they switch coaches, and that's happened
No,
before.
you put your nose to the grindstone and you learn your damn playbook.
Yeah, well, let's
That's
let
what
Saquon
you
learns
do.
the playbook.
How
That's
many
what they
guys
do.
have
Jalen
not
Hurts
known
took the
a
Eagles to the
playbook?
Super Bowl on a new playbook.
That's true,
There,
too.
your
Ollie.
argument's done.
That's
Gone.
true, too.
That's one out of 60 Super Bowls. No, Ollie, I'm right, you're wrong. Again, just
Yeah,
like
you're
my-
always
Just
right.
like you had
I
the
know,
worst
you're
draft.
always right.
Oh, man.
But
Tosh
also-
had the most fighting in his locker room.
Yeah, my locker room, I had a lot of guys. I have Shane Douglas, Raven, Sabu. I have a lot of maybe
Taz.
I might have
Yeah.
a little dissension in
Well,
my locker room.
that's just all your heat right there.
Do I have the most heat out of any locker room?
Yeah, they're walking on eggshells.
Yeah,
down there,
Shane
yeah.
and Taz.
And Raven, Scotty too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have a little bit of a couple.
Not
Of,
even gonna make it to the ring.
Yeah, Justin. Did you have Justin Credible too?
I have Justin as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I have.
what's
I
going
have-
on in there?
It's gonna be a
Laughable,
Bruce Brothers stomp out in the locker room.
Also, I have Sonny. I have Sonny as well too. So I mean, yeah, there could be some trouble there. So fantasy draft season, guys, definitely let us know who you think had the best draft between us four and Suplex Vintage Wrestling Team. Comment and let us know what you think of the draft. We had a great time doing
Yeah, it
that
was a
show.
good time.
Suplex's team is good.
Thank you to the Suplex guys for having us once again, and we hope to continue to do some things with
Yeah, and
them.
if you're down in Florida, their new store is going to be opening soon.
Orlando.
In Orlando.
Chris is moving down there on Monday, I believe. So
Yeah.
There already.
yeah.
I
Actually,
think
he's there
yeah, he's
already.
there,
So
Yeah.
yeah, things should get rolling down there soon. So check it out if you're down there.
Nice. So this week on the show, we are reviewing Hardcore Heaven 1994. This was a show at the arena. I do have a lot of notes here, and so Hack, I'm going to start off with on July 23rd, 1994, Vince McMahon was found not guilty on 2 counts of distributing steroids and 1 count of conspiracy to distribute steroids. At the time, any memories of the steroid trial going on in the business? Were the boys following the trial? And if they were,
Nobody cared. Everybody's like, he's Vince. He ain't getting. He'll have no problem.
really?
Yep.
That was the attitude of the locker room back then?
Yeah.
Is you guys all thought he was going to get off?
No problem.
Wow. I mean, was there any like concern of like the future of the industry or anything like that? 'Cause
Zero.
This was kind of like
Gotta understand,
I
he was
don't
the only
even
one
remember
testing. Indies weren't tested. USWA wasn't tested.
right,
You know.
right. I mean, yeah, I mean that makes sense, but I just didn't know if like anybody in the industry was kind of concerned of like the
ECW locker room wasn't.
Maybe Jason Knight after seeing him in this show.
Yo, Jason.
He looked good there.
Yeah, he did.
How do you like my suit?
Also, I have a note here, and this definitely plays into the show that we watched. At the end of the barbed wire match between the Funk Brothers and the Public Enemy on 7/16 at the ECW Arena, there was approximately, and I like how there's approximately here, okay, 80 chairs in the ring. Terry Funk, wrapped up in barbed wire with a garbage can stuck to his chest, started asking fans to throw chairs into the ring. And then the fans threw chairs into the ring while elderly individuals who were arriving to the arena for their weekly Saturday night bingo. As the arena
That is such a lie. If they're going to play bingo at 1:30 a.m., okay,
12.
I can believe
It
it.
was midnight bingo they would have, apparently.
No, we weren't. No, we were never out of the building before midnight.
Back in '94, though.
Oh, this is what it's. These are the notes.
I could say like 96, just set 97, like definitely not, but 94 is still like. You guys weren't running like the ECW.
Well, so
shows
maybe they
and,
weren't
like,
even getting the ring and getting rid of the ring until the next day or something. They
leaving the ring up and just using.
Yeah, they might have been happy that all the chairs were moved so they could set tables up and then take the chairs out of the ring and put them around the tables.
But the crazy thing is, do you remember anything about the original chair throwing incident that happened here?
No, because dude, I'm like, what are they doing in this freaking match? It's Cactus against because I'm so dumb.
No, he's talking about this. This happened before.
This happened the month before, where it was the Dory and
Not
Terry.
on this show. It was a different
It was
time.
Dory and Terry Funk versus the Public Enemy in a barbed wire match, and there was chairs thrown into the ring after that match.
I don't even remember Dory and Terry in a barbed wire match with the Public Enemy.
Okay.
Was there any ropes, or was the barbed wire wrapped around the ropes?
I have to rewatch. I haven't seen it. I don't even know if I've ever seen it.
Recollection of that at all.
I would have to check that out. I'm not sure if it was a no rope barbed wire or ring wrapped.
Okay, all right. So that's why Cactus was there.
Yep.
Okay.
So Dave Meltzer also wrote this about ECW at the time. ECW isn't the wrestling of the past. It may not be the wrestling of the future, but it is right now the most innovative English language wrestling in the country, headlined by night in and night out the best performer in the country today, and that sure ain't Bret Hart or even Ric Flair. It's Sabu.
Interesting.
Really interesting stuff right there.
No, dude, look at what him and Scorpio do.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Oh, dude, dude, that's a main event anywhere. Sabu's a main event anywhere.
Yeah. I think the important thing, too, is we were watching some of these like older ECW shows, is the context of the wrestling world at the time. You know,
Right.
WWF is presenting you with Undertaker versus Undertaker at SummerSlam, okay? And WCW has Hulk Hogan coming in and trying to, redo the 80s again. ECW was this fresh, different thing you were not going to see anywhere else in wrestling at the time. And it really kind of shook the industry up. And this started...
No, but he did say anywhere in American language.
He did.
I wonder who he was talking about in Japan.
I knew New Japan was really hot at the time. Probably talking about them or
Yeah,
All
but
Japan.
not like innovative. What the hell are they doing? That was innovative.
I know FMW.
Bomb matches?
Yeah, FMW obviously was doing a lot of innovative stuff.
But bomb matches isn't the future of wrestling, so he's not talking about
but it's
that.
innovative.
I think maybe he was talking about like some of the. I'm speculating on what he's talking about, but I would say maybe some of the junior heavyweight style of wrestling you would see in Japan. The New Japan Juniors division with Jushin Liger certainly was like amazing at the time. So I don't know. Also have a note from the 8/8 Observer. The NWA title tournament will be taking place on 8/27 in Philadelphia. This was being moved from Woodbridge, New Jersey. No word on a talent list or if this tournament will have anything to do with NWA promoters elsewhere, including Jim Crockett. That tournament is famous for ECW, Shane Douglas winning the belt, the double across on Dennis Carluzzo, and then throwing down the world title, the NWA title, and declaring it Extreme Championship Wrestling. So,
Yeah, dude, I don't. My brain is so screwed up because I'm like, how does Mikey have the TV championship in '94? I didn't think that happened until at least 2 years later.
he had his,
You know what I'm saying?
he had his original run in '94.
So he had an Eastern Championship Wrestling TV title.
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
who did he beat?
Would have to take a look. It might have been, could have been. I don't know. I'll have to take a look on that one.
Who the hell would he be?
Let's get a little hack check on that, Ollie. See who Mikey beat for the TV title back in '94. There's also a note from the 88 Observer. There has been a ton of heat from WCW about the television here, particularly interviews by Funk and Cactus Jack. So Funk and Cactus Jack are both working for WCW at this point too. Cactus is on his way out, and Funk is doing a little bit of work for them. Funk did an interview talking about wrestling in WCW, but saying that he tells everyone and gets a lot of flack for it that ECW is where it's at. Jack's interview where he spit and threw down the WCW tag title belt got even more heat, particularly when he screeched that he isn't a family entertainer. To those in the WCW office, pro wrestling is a work, Dave Meltzer said. Do you remember anything about Cactus getting heat from...
I thought Cactus, do you remember when Cactus figured out the only way? I'm like, wait a minute, this is 94. I thought this happened later too, when Cactus figured the only way to turn heel was to turn against the fans. So this wasn't the start of that.
That was in 95, when he starts talking about the anti-hardcore stuff, and he starts hating on the fans.
And the Kane Dewey.
Yes, and the Kane Dewey promo, which is maybe arguably the best promo in wrestling history.
He's done some unbelievable.
That promo was just so real, and it came from a real place. But the promo that he did on WCW for ECW when he worked in WCW at the time, do you have any memories of this? He's shooting on WCW, he spits on the title, and he throws down their tag team title, which he was tag team partners with Kevin Sullivan at the time. Got him a lot of heat in WCW, and he was on his way out there.
Well, obviously he's on his way out already, and who knows if that wasn't even Kevin Sullivan's idea.
Oh, to do like some extra...
Knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
secret double agent stuff there.
Exactly.
Okay, that's an interesting take on
Kevin
it.
wants to help Paul.
Oh, you think
His
he was-
wife's there with me.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? He wants to see us do good because, dude, Kevin was doing shit like we were doing shit, but freaking way earlier than we were doing stuff, down in Florida. So he saw the future of what was going on, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so like shooting on WCW to get over in this audience, hope it doesn't get back to that WCW audience, and I mean throwing down another belt's title, you're doing this a month before you actually do the NWA angle, so it's kind of interesting how that plays out too. It's like ECW is getting this rebellious streak early.
Who knows? I gotta ask Todd about that.
But that's like a little bit of like rebellious streak for the company already. You're really setting that tone for ECW.
And Paul's telling Kevin, all right, who's leaving there? Have him cut a promo.
Yeah.
The Cax is the perfect guy.
Yeah. Getting into the show proper, the show started off with... This was an interesting one to start off the show.
Dude, it's 94.
Right. It's
You know what I'm
1994.
saying? You gotta, when I first saw it, I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, it is 94. Adam.
It's 94, so when you guys are checking the show out, like I said, you got to understand the context of the industry at the time. This is 30 years ago. Some of these matches are not going to hit the level of matches today, but you also have to understand...
Well, but the guys aren't even over at all, you know what I'm saying?
Right, it's really at the infancy for a lot of your careers, like Taz, yourself, Dreamer. Everybody is, not as over as they later are, but, it's an interesting show. So at the month before the Heatwave show, you defeated Tommy Cairo to end your feud. Any memories, Hack, of the feud that you had with Tommy Cairo and the work with him? Because I think you guys did some interesting stuff.
I think that was the one where I was like, "Pay your bills, Tommy."
Yeah.
Because I was whoring peaches out to him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I remember. Man, I like Tommy a lot. I liked his wife a lot, so we got along really well.
Cool. So the show opened up with, hold on a second, let me check my notes here. Was this the Rockin' Rebel and Hack Myers match that opened the show?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this show opens up with Rockin' Rebel and Hack Myers. So these guys had actually teamed together at Heatwave the month before to take on the Bad Breed, and they lost the match when Hack Myers got pinned, and then Rockin' Rebel went after Hack Myers. So that's the build for this match. Joey Styles points out that Jason is not at ringside because he's preparing for later in the show when he takes on Mikey Whipwreck. And then he also makes a joke about do not go trick-or-treating there at Hack Myers' house, if you know what he means. I did not know what he meant by that one. I was like, what the heck is he talking about there?
I don't know.
So the match, Hack Myers and Rockin' Rebel. Hack, I know you had a lot of early dealings with Rockin' Rebel he was involved with your training, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. He would be down. He would be down there every night, but he'd be down in Philadelphia at Joel Goodhart's place. I was down there 4 nights a week, you know what I mean? But he was already a little more established than me, you know what I mean? He probably had like 20, 30, 40 matches by then. But he helped train me, yeah.
Yeah.
And we worked out together a lot, 6 a.m. in Havertown.
Okay.
The gym in Havertown on Brookline Boulevard.
He certainly was really put together here at this point, but
Yeah, he's jacked.
my memories of Rock and Rebel were later in like the early 2000s when I was going to like indie shows and stuff around here. He would force himself onto the cards because he had a promoter's license, so you'd have to sit through like a really shitty Rock and Rebel match on the show. Like I picture,
Which would be him beating the hell out of some young
Yes.
kid because that's what he liked to do.
well, okay.
That was his thing, dude. And I've never liked that about him.
So picture like a Ring of Honor card in like 2003 with like Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, like all these good work rate guys, and then smack dab in the middle of the show would be like a Rock and Rebel match. Like what the hell?
I know, and he's like 60.
And he's
Well, later on, though, he bought a ring. So then he had the license and the ring that he could give you.
nice little racket.
The whole
by
kit
the Rock and
caboodle.
Rebel.
What does it take to get a promoter's license?
You got to have a $10,000 bond. But you can put it up. It doesn't have to be cash. Like back in the day, didn't we talk about this? The NWA belt, you had to have 10 G's.
Yes.
Fucking, you had to put
Deposit.
up 10 G's.
Yeah.
And then Harley did it for Tommy Rich or whatever. But you had to have a $10,000, it's like a security deposit with the state, which is really a way for them to just make money. You know what I mean? But they make sure you have insurance for the show. There's supposed to be an ambulance there and all that.
Yeah, could it just be anybody with 10 grand? Like
Well, I guess.
what was the vetting process?
I don't know. If you're a murderer, fucking, how many murders do you have on your? Well, because there's some promoters that are supposedly some shifty dudes, like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure.
Not just beating wrestlers for like the money that they're supposed
yeah,
to
that's
pay
what I'm
for
saying,
other
like-
shit.
Yeah, and obviously in 2018, man, very unfortunate circumstances, took his own life, and his wife at the time. Horrible situation there.
Fucking loser.
Yeah, fuck you, Rock and Rebel. This match, not really anything to it. Hackmeyers came back. Rebel would not pin him, and then Hackmeyers got the surprise win. Ended up getting the win there.
Oh, big surprise.
Yeah, what a nothing opener there. I don't
Well,
know.
Paul didn't like Chuck because Chuck would go to frickin' Paul. And
Chuck is Rock and Rebel?
Yeah. He would go to Paul, and every idea he had was how to put the belt on him.
Least
I
shocking thing ever.
He was a
I
mark for the
remember Paul
business.
telling me, he goes, dude, I don't like your boy, dude. Every idea he's freaking got is to put the strap on himself.
Wow, and he called him your boy too. Your boy.
Yeah.
The Rock and Rebel was your boy.
I'm like, all right, let me separate myself from this guy a little.
He's not my boy. Yeah.
That ain't my boy, man. Fuck Rebel. Next up on the show was Chad Austin taking on your boy Tommy Cairo.
Dude, Chad Austin came out. I was like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
I literally had
I actually
no
knew.
idea. Yeah, he actually
Well,
did.
I guessed it Chad, and then I said his name's either Chad or his name's Austin.
And
Okay.
somehow it came out Chad, but I had never seen that dude before in my life. Like, did you see him before, Todd? Like,
not that
I'm
I can
surprised you
remember.
didn't pick him for your fucking all-star ECW fucking Hall of Fame team.
he
no
only
one-
had 4 matches.
I don't know if anybody would pick Chad Austin.
It's not the point.
Okay,
It's him
uh,
cheating.
Yeah, so
And you two working in cohesiveness.
we're not.
Yeah, he wants me to have
Yeah,
a good
why
team.
don't
No, because it would be just like the thing we were talking about with Cactus and Kevin Sullivan. It would be like you helping him, saying, I'm only going to make it 5 matches, so yeah, you can use this time.
You really can't get over
We all knew
the
the
fact that
rules
my
going
team
in.
is just going to whoop your team's ass.
Vote, everybody. Go ahead and vote.
You are unbelievable.
Yeah, you're so salty about nothing. I don't even think Tyler had a good job.
Okay, I love winning, but I
We
hate
don't even
losing.
know who the fans said is the best team yet.
Because they're going to say I lost.
I think you had a really good
seems
job.
a
I
little
don't
bit,
care
yeah.
who they pick. I beat all yous.
Okay, in your opinion. So this match again, not really anything. Tommy was shoving Chad Austin around, hitting him with some suplexes, and then Tommy hit a couple of backdrops and clotheslines, and then Cairo used the back suplex, a power slam. He missed a cannonball kind of move, And then
There was a lot of like one spot offense by
Yeah.
Tommy, just kind of.
They weren't really,
big back
like,
body drop.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Tommy wasn't your freaking
Yeah.
cardio dude.
right.
Yeah, it was like big back body drop, walk around for a minute, go grab him again, do something else.
Yeah, I don't know how interested either guy was kind of in this match. I don't know. And then Chad Austin went for a sunset flip, and then Austin used a pin on Cairo with his feet on the ropes for the finish. This again, not
And
really anything match.
Did you notice that Cairo's feet were also on the rope?
Yeah, I was like, wait. This guy.
Hey, this is early ECW. Everybody's selling their oats still. The referees,
He's
Joey
counting three.
Styles.
But the
Dude, Joey
sounded
Styles.
young, like
Yeah.
young Joey.
Dude,
But
he didn't know the move to like 10. He didn't know the name to 10 moves, but he sure learned fast.
But
Yeah.
the only reason I say that is because 2 other times previously in the match, a pin was stopped because a foot was on the ropes. And then the finish is that guy puts his foot on the ropes to cheat while Cairo's foot being pinned is also on the ropes that he didn't stop it. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why I was saying that. If that didn't happen 2 times earlier in the match, like stopping a pin because somebody put their foot on the ropes, then I'd be like, just kind of
I guess that was kind of like the storyline of the match, and
Yeah.
that's why the finish
Or
happened.
it was just complete unintentional.
Yeah, I couldn't give this anything more than like half a star. Just kind of These matches, these 2 matches, not really star rating worthy.
The first match was better than this one.
The Rebel and Hack Myers match was
I mean,
better.
not saying that much.
I would
but
probably go like 1 star on that match.
Yeah,
no, we didn't-
0.75,
0.75, sure. Next up on the show, this was a no disqualifications match for the TV title between Jason and Mikey Whipwreck, who was the champion. The belt. The one thing I want to know too, the belt is like so baggy on Mikey's waist.
I know, it's hilarious. And his like long, tall tee.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
4X on it.
It's extra baggy and long. So Jason, the story.
Wait, did you ever get who Mikey beat for that? Pitbull #1.
Oh, so he beat Pitbull #1, who's affiliated with Jason. Okay, so that makes sense, I guess.
Okay.
So they were doing the angle where Mikey was the TV champion, and he kept winning matches by DQ or weird pinfalls or countouts.
Hold on. Why the hell did Paul Lee have a belt on Pitbull 1? They were
Right.
tagged to Gary. His neck wasn't hurt here, was it?
No,
At this
94,
point?
no.
You know what I'm saying? That just seems a little goofy to me. The Pitbulls are a tag, and why the hell did? Maybe that wasn't Paulie's decision. I don't know. I don't know how many bookings Paulie's into this at this point.
He's been with the book for a while here at this point. So
Oh yeah,
It's definitely interesting, though.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
I don't
It
know.
had been a couple years.
yeah.
Had Anthony
it,
been-
it had been probably a year, I think, at least with Paulie in the
Probably
book.
more. Actually, more.
Yeah, I don't know why they went with Pitbull #1 for the TV title there.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. But they were doing the storyline where Mikey just kept getting retaining the title through like these loopholes.
Get beat up the whole freaking match and slip over at the end. And
Right.
The place loved them.
Yeah,
Even in '94, the place was behind them. You know what I mean? Really behind them.
yeah. At the Heatwave show the month before,
They're all underdogs. Everybody in that audience is an underdog.
That's a good
How
point.
can you not relate to them?
yeah. So at the month before at the Heatwave show, Chad Austin tried to beat Mikey for the title, but Mikey escaped via DQ. So Jason has enough of that, and he is going for the match himself here with no countouts and no disqualifications. And then, the match. I don't know. What did you guys think of the work here? I thought it was all right. Certainly, they tried to put together the storyline of Mikey kicking out of a lot of stuff. And the work here was okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's 1994, so
Right.
it's not.
Jason's just too robotic for me. Like the way he moves, the way he works, and everything like that. Like totally like nice dude or whatever. But he's just like so top heavy. Like he was huge.
Yeah.
there, like
And
looking real good. Like
Even
huge.
things that he did, like the enziguri when he hits it, like I can see that enziguri.
shit.
I can see it coming like 7 seconds before it happens.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
it's-
mean? Like
yeah.
to your point about him being robotic. It's
Yeah,
like
it's just like like walking into everything. Like there was no real like flow.
I don't know. That's kind of like a little Lance Storm to me. If you're going to say people are robotic, guys that are really good, I think Lance Storm is a little robotic when I watch him.
I disagree. I think
I
he was
just
fluid.
do.
I think he
kinda
was fluid.
Yeah, I see that more as like tight, like crisp, not tight, crisp, more
don't-
so than like robotic.
Yeah, I
If
don't
that
know.
makes sense.
Yeah, but robotic to me is a little bit more to, like you said, you could tell a spot 7 seconds before. When I would watch some guys' matches, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's setting up. It's like Flair's going for this. That's robotic to me. Flair's robotic to me.
Flair's patterned, right?
No, he's a patterned robot. Same exact spot every fucking match. Ty could literally call Flair's matches when he was 8, 9 years old.
Yeah, there's an element of predictability to him.
Yeah,
and
to me that's
But
robotic.
that was also part of the gimmick, I think, too. Like for Flair,
Play
I'm
the
saying.
hits.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
I think a lot of guys are robotic, and I think it has to do a little bit more.
You're probably right
with
in that.
timing, because
Yeah.
I know timing is freaking is the whole world.
I'm
Yes.
a huge stickler for timing,
Yeah.
so yeah, I get that totally.
So Mikey started using a chair. The crowd actually really enjoyed that, but then he missed a flying crossbody. Jason was then using the chair, but then he hit the ref by mistake. And then the 3 count came with a groggy referee making the 3 count for the finish there. Then the Pitbulls were
But then
interfering.
Tommy Dreamer hits a referee, and
I know. It's you can't listen. Again, it's 1994 ECW. You can't say this happened in this match. So why did just throw it out the window? There's a lot of logic gaps
live
in the
by the
show.
second out there in the audience.
Yeah, there's a lot of logic gaps on the show if you really want to be a stickler and stuff. And
And the finish is so like you're
just
about to
weird.
get there. Like the ref counts 3, but then what? He forgets that he counted 3.
yeah, it was just weird.
And they switch the pin.
Yeah, they switched the pin.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah, that was another.
either they messed that up, or
No, that was a screw up.
like or whatever
Well, no,
because he
then
counts
they put
3.
Jason on top of him. And the
they-
ref was just like out of it, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't remember that."
I don't remember just counting 3.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. It was all over the place, kind of weird, and it's kind of slow at times overall too. I don't know. What do you guys give this match as a star? I go 1.5.
Yeah, I'd say 1. 1.
Here we go. It's the friendship scale. That's a 3. But
Dude, the finish kind of buries it a lot. Like that was really big.
I know.
no, like
I love Mikey.
Mikey bumped his ass off in it, and I love the character and everything. Like I'm not.
Yeah, and I don't think Jason protected him so great on a couple of those bumps either. The way
Yeah.
he's throwing them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially like the power bomb. I noticed that after the enziguri that they did. Like
The one where he picked him up and he threw him into the ring over the top rope. He threw him. You got to launch the guy and let him get his bearings in the air. Jason held on to his head too long. Mikey got his feet up, but his head hit before his feet did. You want to hit a little bit more flat on bumps like that.
Interesting. Okay. And then after the match, the Pitbulls were just beating on them until Taz and Tyler's boy Jimmy Snuka arrived.
Henceforth, no, that is
Tyler's boy, Jimmy Snuka. This was not really a match. It was just a quick, short brawl.
Something to get Taz over, like the 100 other times Paul used somebody else to get him over.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly an interesting kind of like relationship there, trying to pairing of Taz and Snuka. Obviously, Taz doesn't have his character or gimmick figured out
He's the
yet.
Tasmanian.
He's
at
still,
that- yeah,
he's
at
still
that
in that like Andre
Hey,
the
Jimmy's
Giant.
a monkey boy, kind of. That's how people feel like he is.
Jungle
Ever since
yeah.
Piper fucking banged the coconut over his head.
I mean, I
That's
guess.
how they look at him.
I mean, Taz is like barefooted in the ring at this point. I don't know.
Well, is it Jimmy or is
Yeah.
They're both.
Oh, yeah,
barefoot. Yeah. So they just did a quick brawl. Pitbull 2, belly to belly suplex. Taz gave him.
Dude, I thought I couldn't tell because the camera was right at Taz's gut, but it looked like he dropped him straight on his head.
Oh, he dropped him. And then
you guys thought the same
Yes,
thing?
and then the
That
T-bone,
gave
too.
me Oh,
the T-bone too. He hits a nasty T-bone. And then Jimmy Snuka does a superfly splash.
Anthony took it perfect. If
Yeah,
you watch,
the legs came
you
up.
have to fucking V your body. Morocco told me that because guys that wouldn't, because Jimmy would do that spot with Morocco off the top of the cage, and I worked with both of them very early in my career, so obviously I talked to both of them about it because they were cool. You know what I mean? They didn't have no like egos or anything. And he's like, yeah, and Jimmy was like, yeah, brother. Thank God, Morocco, because he had that big chest anyway. He got to come up to meet me, brother, or I'd blow out my triceps. He blew out his triceps doing it with other guys off a cage.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they got just, it's the littlest things, dude. It's the littlest things.
Yeah, I noticed like he had his legs swung up and his
Yeah,
chest
he's got to
and
help
everything.
him absorb that freaking bump on his arms.
Yeah, he accepted it, and he also gave a good visual of
right.
like
Absolutely.
The cell.
Yeah.
For like a 40-second match, the crowd absolutely loved this. Like, this was something ECW, and I like it. I like a quick, short match in the middle of a card. Sometimes like a curveball, you know, kind of like bring the crowd up a little bit, and it certainly did the case here for this card.
Yeah, that was your typical like ECW like match card, like just hey, something quick, easy, you know, like they would do with the Gangsters, or like they would do, you know, and something like that. It was just
And they did it again later on with
Yep.
the PA coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a match; it's a memory. You know.
but yeah,
it's-
it
Good
stopped.
point.
yeah.
Yeah, that, and it also stops
Angle.
like the, you know, just your cognizant like this guy come out, then this guy come out, then pin, and then they walk back, and then the next guy come. You know, it just stop. It's more flowing. It shocks,
and if you-
shocks your brain a little bit. You know, it keeps you.
And Jimmy's a little bit older right here, you know what I'm saying? So Jimmy's a couple spot dude. Jimmy's old school. He don't touch.
Get in and get out.
Yeah, and Paul, hey, let's protect Jimmy, and let's get Taz over at the same time.
Right. If they went out and did a 12-minute match with the pit bulls here,
Not good.
They're probably not going to get over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well,
So it
it's just
makes
going to go
sense.
too long.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right. It just makes sense to do a short little squash right there. Up next on the show, this is kind of like a.
And all Taz can be is exposed against because they didn't like him either. Believe me, they didn't want to be taking freaking suplexes for the midget.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how everybody. Dude, that's how all of us talked.
Well, I love Taz, and he looked good here. Up next on the show, this
Because
is.
they're voided out of their brains right here.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? They're like, ah.
Well, walk me through that though. So I'll wait till we get to the. I'll get to that next match next. But so these guys are big and they don't want to sell for the little guy, or is it because he was a dick? Like, because nobody has a problem selling for Mikey, and he's a little guy.
Yeah.
Because Mikey's the man.
You got it, you
Like,
got it.
and it's just because Taz had an attitude, really. Like to you guys. I mean,
brother.
I love Taz, man.
Dude,
so-
he thought he was a badass. And he wasn't.
he wasn't a tough dude at all.
Dude, Bubba smacked him around. Van Dam slapped him around in front of the whole locker room. Bubba did it at the school in front of the whole Taz team, I think it was.
Wow. I
mean,
Taz was a bad dude. But maybe
Well,
I'm
compared to
a mark.
you, maybe.
I don't, sometimes little guys are tough guys, man. It happens.
Yeah,
Gary would have ripped them apart. Anthony, no, but Gary, absolutely.
I got to get your shoot fight ECW guy wrestling rankings. Your baddest
Tracy Smothers and Too Cold Scorpio.
They're your number one seeds.
Basically, yeah.
If we did an ECW brawl for all, that's who you would
And then
back.
I have Tracy Smothers, Scorpio, Van Dam will be right there.
Okay, yeah, all right. I mean, not Taz. Taz is not.
Chetty?
Probably. And not because he kicked my ass in 8 seconds.
All right. So next up on the show here, we have two.
I should have put him on my team just
Yeah.
for that.
I'd have left. I would have thumbed it up Walnut Street.
All right. Up next on the show, we have two bad
Looking
dudes.
behind your shoulder for Chetty every step of the way. Sees a guy with blonde hair. Yeah. Runs and hides. Let me duck in the alley real quick.
And then I get held up by some street person with a crack pipe. Here, give me money, Dad.
Up next on the show, two bad dudes going at it, 911 and Mr. Hughes. So this was set up because Shane Douglas and Sabu were feuding, so they had their bodyguards attacking each other at Heatwave, and at 911 and Mr. Hughes had a couple of altercations there. 911 chokeslammed everybody, including Shane's new manager, Angel, and then she was rocking a neck brace selling that on this show, and then Mr. Hughes was really pissed about that. And then Mr. Hughes and him had a pull apart.
I forgot about Mr. Hughes.
Mr. Hughes is a bad dude.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't have him on your fucking ECW.
I had 911, so I had to, it was one or the other.
No.
And I don't
Yeah,
remember
well, you see,
Angel.
Mr. Hughes kicked his ass.
This was a bad dude match. I mean, these two guys would kill it in an ECW brawl.
Yeah,
for
but it's
all.
just the most horrible match you could ever put together, ever.
I loved it. It was great. He did a lot of... No, I mean, it was what it was. It's
Least shocking thing, Mr. Double Dog Collar.
I can't believe fucking Paul had Al fucking take. You know what? He might have had to get fucking 911 to take a choke slam for Hughes to fucking. Because Hughes was kind of like that too.
You think it was a tit for tat?
Dude, I can't. Why would Paul let fucking Hughes fucking choke slam him? 911.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
your job
It makes no sense.
But your job in Hughes here, maybe you got to give a little something to him.
Yeah, but you don't give it to him early and then go 5 more minutes and then take it away from him because they all forgot about it. Then.
Good
Yeah, the
point.
psychology of the match, wasn't really there. I mean, look, it's a.
I mean, how much can you do between those two anyway?
You can't. Like when I saw this match, I was like, I can't wait to see this to see what they're going to do.
I was shocked it lasted so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was utterly shocked.
Well,
3 minutes 33 seconds.
Okay, and yeah,
3 minutes too long.
Nah, this was
No,
just
2 minutes and 30 seconds to all.
It was right on time. So Mr. Hughes attempted a sidewalk slam, 911 blocked it, and then he hit a choke slam himself for the win.
You see, Hughes got up for him. That fuck.
He did get up for
Dude,
it.
he's an African American for one, so he should have some kind of skills, even if you went at 470.
Well, jumping skills. Yeah.
Yeah, this match was not really anything.
Well-
The best part of this match, I think, was the Joey commentary afterwards and everything, and some of the things with Paul Lee at the end when Paul Lee like spit on Angel after he chokeslammed her, and he gave the last rites to her and
Did
everything.
you see how he was a cat out there when Hughes chokeslammed 911? Paulie literally jumped in one bound up onto the apron, like going through the ropes, and being like,
He was felt back then himself.
we all were.
I gotta do a poor job on 911 not getting Angel up higher for that choke slam.
It was her, not him. You see how he tried to double clutch her?
I
The
know.
second one,
I
not
know,
the
but
first one.
Yeah, but can't you like grab like under her ass and like pick her up like?
Well, no,
unless
you
he
grab her
didn't
twat.
want to. Unless
You're doing this.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whatever, but unless he didn't want to, like,
Oh
you
no,
know,
he would have no. Nah, he had no problem.
But yeah, I don't know. I was expecting him to get her like at least a little bit above his shoulder, like
Yeah. Not really a match again. but
Hughes got up higher than her, I thought.
Yeah.
he definitely did.
Yeah.
He absolutely got up higher for the chokeslam. Yeah, I mean, not really a match.
Was the first one as bad as the second one? I just can't remember the first. I remember the second one.
The first one, and then Paulie did like a smelly smell kind of thing for her, I guess, insinuating
Is
that
he
her.
gonna pick up your crack or your crack or whatever?
Yeah, he was. And he spit.
And you
on
know
her.
the only reason she was out there was to take the choke slam.
Of course.
That's the only
With the
reason why
Gardner
she's
neck
the
brace on.
manager.
That's what the crowd wanted to see
Yeah.
in ECW back then. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
And
that
dude,
was.
and that's also another ECW innovative thing. Choke slamming a chick.
Yeah.
Back in '94.
That would have been giant heel heat anywhere else besides Philadelphia.
Yeah,
They were like,
like-
yeah, do it again, do it again. You saw the straw hat guy in the front row. He loved it.
Oh,
Like,
if that happened
Yeah,
in
Bubba's what he's doing, power bombing Bueller through a table.
Yeah.
Then he's in WWE doing it to Mae Young.
yep. No, it's certainly.
fucking 79-year-old Mae Young. What a tough broad, man. That's the only word you can have for her. With her and Moolah, what a bunch of tough broads.
Yeah. Again, this was just a nothing match, kind of. I can't really give it a star. If I did, it'd be
Okay,
like one
but
star.
let's take now. You guys got to understand, like you know what's going on in '94 in the WWE,
Right.
So this card, all right, they might be bigger stars, but the matches are absolutely no better than what we put on the first 3 or 4.
It
Dude, they were
depends on who's
doing
in the
nothing
ring.
in opening matches.
Right. No. It depends who was in the ring at the time.
If you doing more than 2, you get heat going back into the fucking locker room.
That's
Right. It was a different business back then. That's why I said the context
So,
of
but
the
what I'm
times.
saying is, our shit isn't so horrible, even compared to. I mean, they might have had give me like Bastion Booger against Steve Regal or something like that.
I don't know if that match-
Well, I'm saying if we're recapping the show back in like '95 or something like that, it could have been like, oh well, that was like 4-star.
Yeah.
But like we have so much more context to go off of now. It's like it's difficult, but
It is, and like this is a growing period for the ECW company,
Right.
and the guys on this card. A lot of them are having their first taste of real television
Yup,
time
young
in the
talent,
business.
yup.
So it's like it's a real growing card. It's not, again, I'm not throwing stars around for this stuff because it's 911 and Mr. Hughes, man. It's 5 stars, all right.
yeah, right.
That's what it is.
According to Hack,
Yeah,
usually.
according to Hack, can't really give it a star.
This shit was horrifying.
Next up on the show was the Singapore Cane match between you, and Tommy Dreamer. So you had ended your feud with Tommy Cairo, and then you got a TV title match against Mikey Whipwreck, but you lost that by disqualification because you caned him. Okay, so then wrestlers tried to break that up, and then Tommy Dreamer hit the ring, and then Tommy Dreamer ducked it, and Woman and You just beat him up with the cane. So that's the setup for this match, and then Tommy kissed Woman. So that's kind of why you guys started your beef here. Okay.
Wait, so the 10 lashes is after this?
Yes, the 10
How much
lashes.
after do you think?
I think it's a couple. I don't know, a month or two.
You killed me.
It's right around that time period.
Well, it makes sense that, dude, I thought it was really good business. You know what I mean? A lot of times I don't like the stuff I do, but this one was really good to get Tommy to a different level. You know what I'm saying? This got Tommy to like dude. He was a hated New York baby face, dude. You saw the pants he was wearing.
You saw the
he used to come out with the suspenders, maybe a vest or two.
Well, it was a different like side of Tommy.
Well,
that you see,
exactly.
you know, like it was,
And I had no problem laying down for him. I'm like, this is what we need.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Tommy at this point had not figured out who he was as a character, and you're getting there, and this is part of the early journey of it.
This is the new Tommy right here.
This is the new Tommy here, and, like, you know, he's got a decent look at this point. He's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
It's just the gimmick, the character, like, he didn't have that.
He's trying to tell me he never did juice, but I still don't believe him.
Oh, wow, you're calling him out for,
Dude, he was looking a little bit too good for the fat fuck he turned into.
He was looking like Jason here, you know?
he was cut a little bit, but he wasn't like crazy cut.
But he was bigger than that at one point, though. I've seen him look better than he even looked there.
Wow, okay.
Dude, and it's funny because like watching him hit you with the cane shots, like he was taking care of you so much, but then he smoked Molyneux and smoked Ortiz.
Smoked right on the side of the face. Smoked Ortiz on the side of
And
the
then came back to you and like
It's like, oh, right here. I don't care what part you hit me with, but yeah. I know.
I was like, geez, Tommy.
Okay, so
Let me come down straight. He hit them both right in the side of the face.
So you come down to the ring and you're like kind of threatening some fans. Woman has the cane. Joey made like a cheap joke about a woman holding a stick.
Hey, notice how I'm not even over yet.
Well, no, and Joey calls you the epitome of health and fitness as well.
Yeah, I
too.
heard that.
So then Bob Ortiz he's about to do the intros, and then Dreamer just pops out from under the ring, and he just goes to town on you, and just a ton of cane shots, like you were saying. He just starts,
67 of them.
Is that how many you
I
count?
count them.
67.
Took all of them like a man.
You really
Well, yeah,
did.
because he was touching you lighter than a pillow. I felt bad for Molyneux and Ortiz.
Well-
You see the cane wrapping around my head like a freaking candy cane. It looked like.
He plants a kiss on Woman, and then he goes back and just.
Yeah, she liked that too much, I think.
Oh, you didn't like the cell there. Slipped her little tongue. I don't know. And then Tommy just beat the hell out of the ref, and then you again, and then Ortiz finally announced him as being disqualified.
No.
He kind of said
First
you
they
at
said
first.
you were disqualified.
Yeah, he
Another
said-
screw up in
Yeah.
our early years.
Yeah. Then he corrected himself, and then Dreamer went after him again, and then went after you again. So
Yeah, he said you're laying on your back. You look like one of those drawstring dolls, like where you pull the string and the legs and arms
yes,
come up.
just
like
kept
that.
popping up, and then he just kept hitting you more and more.
You look like a drawstring doll, whatever they're called.
love-
I don't even.
The best part of this all was Woman reviving you with a cigarette. Like that was like that's what brought you back to life.
I don't know. I want to say I have a note down here. I think it was her idea.
Genius. Really is.
Yeah.
It's just straight genius.
Funny as shit.
And Joey played it great too.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee it was the first time we ever did it.
Especially for like back then, you know,
Yeah.
like
Oh my god! You know, but her and her facials and the way it's when Tommy had her backed into the corner at one point and she's going, her hands are going all like this and everything, and then after we do the smoke, she's got this look on her face. I sit up, I look at her, she's like,
You look at her and you're like, what happened?
And she's like,
So you're selling the beating?
she goes, nothing.
Right. Did she say nothing because she was trying to hide that she
Yeah.
kissed Tommy, you think, to you? That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
And I love how you do like a little like, it's almost like vaudeville, like the way you do like a stumble back at one point, like still selling it.
Charlie
And
Chaplin, dude.
I know, and I thought you were about to do like
Three
a flare.
Stooges.
I thought you were about to do a flare flop on your face at one point with it too.
No, that hurts.
I was like waiting for you to do
The flare flop hurts, dude. You got to take that with your whole chest.
This was just like I said, vaudeville. Like I love this shit. It's not a match, but it again, this is the journey between both you and Tommy on the way for both of you guys getting over. Tommy more so than you here at this point.
It helped him extremely.
The 10 Lashes was 2 weeks later on August 28th.
Wow, the 10 Lashes were on the were they on the NWA tournament
Call
show?
Howie, way to be there.
Is that when is Shane Douglas Too Cold the main event of that show?
I have no idea.
We'll have to take a look into that. Okay. Wow, 2 weeks later. So I thought it was like months later. That's crazy. It's all the build for it, you know? And it's really cool just to see.
So we're in the arena then, and we're back in the arena in 2 weeks. Doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah, you were.
I don't remember.
I mean-
it's a month, 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was because it was for the NWA title tournament. We'll have to ask Todd here. Up next on the show was the base brawl match between the Public Enemy and the Bad Breed. So the PE were feuding with the Rotten Brothers after Heatwave. They had a couple matches on house shows, and I guess because the baseball strike was going on, they wanted to tie in with baseball here. I'm not really sure why they were tying in the baseball bats and everything.
Well, I think they used to come out with a barbed
baseball
wire bat.
was those dudes.
Yeah, the Axel and Ian used to carry
Oh, that's-
around those.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Bad Breed would carry around the baseball bats. Okay.
Yeah, the barbed wire bats.
So it should have been if they knocked him out. There should have been barbed wire around it, but maybe they didn't come up with the barbed wire until afterwards.
Yeah. So the rules of this were kind of weird. So if you knocked your opponents for a 10 count, you were then able to use the baseball bat on them.
And this is again where Joey didn't know what the rules were.
Yeah, he seemed confused too.
Joey said, he goes, "Oh, I just found out what's going on here."
I don't know if they smartened him up later.
And it gets worse.
Yeah, and then
There's another one too.
it was a false count anywhere, and then it
Love
could,
you, Joe.
it could also end only by pinfall. It was just, it was like, I don't know, a little convoluted rules. I think anytime you can't explain the rules in like one sentence, it's probably too much for a wrestling match.
Yeah, it was a little strange. Like it was throwing me off at first because then they started like counting over like the like Ortiz started counting over. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm like, did I just hear one? And then like something. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And
Okay, I wrote it here. I love the idea of them doing a 10 count in the middle of the match. I didn't know that there was going to be more. I just thought the PE was doing something different, trying to win with a 10 count in the middle of a match.
Well,
Right.
10 counts in matches, that's like Texas death rules. So you do, the 10 count, you do a pin, then 10 count to see if the guy gets up. So like that part I kind of understand. It was just a little weird here. I don't know.
Did you think that was going to be the win? If he stayed down for 10,
Yes, I
did
thought
you
it was going to
think
be a
PE
false
was
count
gonna win?
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
So did I.
No, I'm sorry, last man standing. You know they do the last man
Whatever.
standing?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Before the match, the Public Enemy, they ripped up Straw Hat Guy's hat. I thought that was interesting.
You're right about the Shane Douglas Too Cold Scorpio being on the same night, which is when Shane Douglas threw down the NWA belt.
Wow, what a historic show. It had both of those events on it. That's crazy. That's awesome.
It says it was taped on August 27th, aired on the 28th.
That's awesome.
He
That's,
beat Scorp that night?
To
Yeah.
win, to
Oh,
win.
so he beat Scorp, and that happened right then.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when he throws down the belt. It's
Never
2 weeks later.
remember that.
Yeah, 2 weeks later. Yeah. So, what did you guys think of this Public Enemy match? I mean, they did a lot of like Rocco Rock.
Dude, that like spinning kick that Rocco Rock threw in the corner was something else.
it was, and some of the moonsaults and everything. And
Dude,
like,
and like the R-bar flip off the rope, it's like, I don't know if you guys just talked about that. I was trying to do my,
no,
the
we
research a
didn't
little
mention
bit,
that. I like the Bad Breed doing the Doomsday device. I thought that was cool, and some of the brawling in this was pretty good. Like,
Oh, dude. All right, here we go. All right. Axel, Ian killed. I did a no shit when Ian went over the top rope and landed on Johnny Grunge.
I'm trying to remember when that happened in the match.
Oh my God! I thought Johnny was dead.
He
Johnny
landed
and
on-
Teddy were right out there. Ian goes over the top rope. Boom. Johnny's faces were great then. You notice he went to the top rope twice in this match.
Yeah.
That's not a Johnny usual Johnny Grunge shit. His facials were really great outside the ring. I loved his fucking his intensity there. And to me, it was just totally two different matches.
yeah.
Literally two totally different matches.
Well,
You didn't even need to be two.
I love Rocco Rock jumping off the scaffold. That was a great spot.
And then off the Eagles, not the Eagles Nest.
Yeah, they were brawling up there on the Eagles Nest area. Yeah,
That wasn't the Eagles Nest, huh? Was it? They were on that like platform up there.
Styles was up there, so I think it was the Eagles Nest.
No, the Eagles Nest used to be over to the left.
The far side?
To the left of entrance. When you walk through entrance, Eagles Nest was to the left, right? Left to correct.
Like the main entrance?
No, when you're walking out the entrance to the ring.
Oh, okay.
To the left was the
Well, where you came out for your return? Is that what
Oh
you're
my
talking
God!
about?
Forget it. No,
Because
if you don't get walking out to the ring.
I do
left,
get that.
Walking out left was that the Eagles Nest.
Yeah, but there was a couple different balconies. I don't know what you're calling.
No, but the one was
what you're calling the Eagles Nest.
The one
I don't know
right
which
to
one
the
you're
left, the small one, I thought was the Eagles Nest because the Eagles used to sit there.
Okay, because there was like 3 different balconies.
And
So I
the
don't
one
know
I
which one
came
you're
in with
calling.
Missy, that definitely wasn't the Eagles Nest.
I have to take a look.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure.
You're talking about when you made your return back to ECW.
That was in between the Eagles Nest and
Right, so
it was.
So like,
Because I was on a ladder standing on top of a wall. I got on an A-frame ladder and I climbed up. I'm standing on a 2x4 wall right there.
Wow.
There's no
See, I
flooring
thought
there.
I thought you were at the Eagles Nest.
I
is
would
what-
have to. I can't really like picture the ECW arena like that in my head. So, next up on the show. Well, actually, what did you guys think of this match overall?
It was fun. It was
I
fun.
mean-
It was fun, but it was just a little confusing.
Long.
And the camera,
long, yeah.
can't follow
Can't
everybody.
catch anything outside.
I know. It's like when they do these walk-in brawls at this point. It's like the camera work here at this point. It's like
It's
one of
tough.
the things like. It's just tough for the times, like
Yeah,
to get everything
yeah.
on camera and like get the feel of it. And there's no like replays or anything. Like it's really bare bones and just
Yeah, I'd give it like a 2, 2.5. It was just because it was confusing, and like Hack said, too long.
Yeah, I would think 2 is the fair rating for this. Ollie,
I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 2.
okay, Hack
4.
4. All right,
My
4.
boys.
My boys.
I like it because it's like the typical Axel Rotten, Ian Rotten, like that's the
better.
match
Well, that's
that
what I'm
you
saying.
would
Like, it was
expect.
fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was
You know-
fun brawl outside. Yeah.
But I agree, just a little too long, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, on here it says 19 minutes 9 seconds.
Yeah,
I think you could have done that in 15.
was it the
and-
longest match on the show? I think it was.
Yeah,
Had to
Yeah,
have
it
been.
felt
Yeah.
it. It felt it. Okay.
yeah. Sabu and Scorpio's close.
What was that? What was that? Like 17?
18:28.
Okay. All
Hey,
right.
you're like John Ritchie with the time, and him with the polls.
all right.
Buttercream, crock skin.
Up next on the show was Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio. So these guys had a match in
So
ECW.
you got 2 back-to-back 20-minute matches, basically.
Yeah, after not having a match over, what,
Maybe
5
that's
minutes
why-
on the show before that?
Right, yeah.
You
So
really-
you got back-to-back 20-minuters. Like,
Yeah, after intermission, people really buckled in for this show. So these two guys had one match in ECW before, but the top rope broke. So then Sabu was meanwhile having feuds with Shane Douglas. And then I guess Paul Lee had this match booked because he wanted to give the fans something special here at this point. So Sabu comes running into the ring. Scorpio ducked that, and they were kind of like dancing around each other. And then Scorpio and him kind of doing like some chain wrestling kind of stuff. They're trying to out wrestle each other. Really cool stuff. Sabu was going for a lot of like slingshot kind of moves. Sabu crashed and burned on the floor. He went for like a sunset flip kind of thing. And then going back in the ring, Scorpio hit him with a couple slingshot moves
Was that the
himself.
one where he like he jumped on the ropes, then jumped outside the ropes, and jumped back inside
Yeah.
the rope, and then did like a?
Never done that spot once with me.
That's what I was saying. I don't remember.
Never saw him do that spot any other time.
Well, that's the thing with Sabu matches when you're watching them. Like we were talking about pattern guys. Sabu doesn't have any
Yeah,
pattern.
like you know
Why-
you're gonna see your triple
why-
jump and your things
Are
like
you
that.
freaking
But
crazy?
You think Sabu has a pattern?
Absolutely, he's got standard spots.
Yes, he
now,
does,
They're not
but-
going to come in like a Flair's will come in because Flair was always an in-ring guy. You got outside shit going on. We'll come inside. Hey, let's do this now. We're not in any order. If I say, hey, let's do the leg drop spot or whatever, then that's just a leg spot drop coming up. He'll come out of that. He'll say, hey, let's do this. We'll know our last 3 or 4 in a row. You know what I mean? But we're just freewheeling it out there. But they're still all the same spots.
Okay,
I can
it's not-
guarantee him to do every spot in every match.
It's not that I didn't know his moveset of what he was capable of. It's that no one Sabu match looked like the other Sabu match, is what I'm saying.
I would agree to that.
Whereas like Flair matches, like we were saying earlier, are very patterned. Like you could say, you can call the spots like clockwork sometimes when you're watching.
Yeah, it's like Sabu could have a match with Hack, and it could look completely different than the last match that he had.
Flair will
with
have
Hack.
a match with Luger, staying back to back, and they'll both be the same exact match.
Even though
Right.
you guys will do
Yes.
similar spots, it still is not the same
Yeah, it's
match.
not- yeah.
That's more of what I meant by like different every time.
Yeah, I was so caught off. I've never seen him do that before. I was like, what the hell did he just do?
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
When he was setting the
Scorp
chair
did-
up, I was like, what the frick
And
is he doing?
Scorp did a good job of actually catching him,
Caught
too.
him off to his left right there.
Yeah,
brought
Scorp
him down.
actually did a
Great
really
catch.
good catch.
Dude, you don't dude, in Japan, you freaking catch people, and that's what Scorp was taught, dude.
Yeah.
You freaking catch people in Japan. You get under no matter what.
Because he kind of missed him and was off to the side, and Scorp did a very good job of catching him.
He grabbed his waist.
Yeah.
I
Right
wonder
there.
how old Sabu is at this point, because I'm not used to like looking at him like so young and like watching
I would say
him
like the
so
late 20s.
early.
Yeah,
but
Late-
it's funny
late
Like so
20s.
baby faced, like I'm like, wow, he looks
He's not
so
all scarred
young.
up and
Yeah,
everything.
Unless I
Yeah,
think did.
But it's
Oh,
also
all you
funny
guys were
because like
young at this
Sabu
point.
still looked like
Sabu.
rugged,
Yeah.
like like he still had like that rugged look, even though like he was younger. But like, dude, he looked. I don't think he aged in like 20-something years. I think
No,
like,
he's
Sabu
cut-
had
yeah,
that
he's-
same look.
He
like,
had the Sabu look always.
Get him, damn Egyptians in a rage.
Scorpio did a flying, flipping leg drop. I thought that was awesome. I always love to see that. And then Scorpio came back.
Wait, the Compton concussion? the 450 leg drop. That's what they call it when Booker T would do it. The Compton concussion.
Really?
I think.
Oh, man.
he did. Yeah, he did one, and he sat right on Sabu's head on one of them.
He did.
landed right on one.
The one where he just stands there and flips and leg drops.
Whatever.
So he hit him with that one, a standing flip leg drop. And then he hit him with the Compton. He missed him mostly with the Compton concussion though.
What's the one where he does a flip, but it's like a reverse leg drop?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That flip one. Not that one. Yeah, that's what I'm
What,
talking
the
about.
backflip leg drop?
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever it is.
that's fucking
That's
nasty.
the 450, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. 450's
Front flip
and a splash.
is one flip and a splash.
Yeah.
And then he does another
Loser.
one where he does a back flip, like reverse leg drop on him. But one, I don't know which one it was, but one of them he sat right
I
on
can't
Sabu's
think
head,
of
and
it
I was
either.
like, oh.
They start doing some stuff with chairs and tables, and then Scorpio had a chair to come back. And then they reversed, did a nice tombstone spot. I've never seen Sabu do a tombstone before.
Dude, the first pile driver, I felt killed Sabu. The very first one, not the tombstone.
Before
They
the
did one
tombstone.
earlier in the match, and I thought could have easily broke Sabu's neck.
Yeah, some really nasty tight stuff there. And then Scorpio hits him with a slingshot 450, and then Sabu kicked out of, I think they called it tumbleweed. Is what I think that's the one that.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute!
Yeah.
That's the tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Might be the back one.
Yes, that's the one you're talking
And
about.
the 450's
Yeah.
the front one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's the tumbleweed.
And Scorp doing all those like things off the top rope, I find it so funny when he would do the just jump and just turn around and land on them. Like he wouldn't
Yeah.
do a flip or anything. Like he would just jump,
know, it's like
turn
so
around and land them on the
basic,
other.
like-
Like he's like 20 feet in the air. He jumps so high, but he just turns and lands on him. Like I
Yeah.
thought that was the funniest
When he
shit.
lands on you, he don't land on you, dude. He takes it
Except
all
when he
on
lands on your
his
head.
knees and his legs.
Yeah.
He don't land on you much.
No, I mean, they had some really fun stuff in here. And then Paulie and 911 got involved in the match, distracting the ref. And then Sabu hit Scorpio with a pile driver on the floor. And then there was a chair shot, or a chair with the slingshot to end the match with a leg drop. to get the
Yeah,
win.
911's got the ref right behind him. Paulie's holding the chair over his head.
A little convoluted,
It's
but
finished.
whatever. I don't know.
I didn't mind it.
You liked it? I guess, I mean...
Well, dude, you had to like the match as a whole.
oh, yeah. Like, the match as a whole. Again, you're watching 1994
It's the
here.
best match some of these people might have ever seen in their lives.
Right. And it's so innovative, right? Could you imagine
Yeah.
seeing this with 1994 eyes at this point?
These two, like probably
Only in Japan.
Only in Japan?
Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously.
But
like, at
these
this
two
point,
are one of the
Only in Japan.
most innovative wrestler, like especially at that time, to the two most innovative dudes, moveset wise. I
Yeah.
think so. Like going against each other.
it was a little long, but
Yeah.
even with that being said, again, it might be a little biased because of the card or the time period. I'm going 4 stars for this match.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going 3.5.
Just because, like you said, I think it was a touch long. But
Yeah. Hack's throwing out the 5.
Dude, that's a 5-star match for '94, dude.
Right.
Anywhere on the planet.
The context
Literally.
of the time. I
It
might
just is.
be a little
It
biased.
just freaking is.
Yeah.
Because, like, again,
I can't argue with
That's
that.
Misawa, Inoki, stuff like that. You know
matchup
what I mean?
again. The SummerSlam main event in a couple weeks is Undertaker versus Undertaker. And then ECW.
For context, yeah.
ECW is doing this, and then they're also doing the Terry Funk and Cactus Jack match next. So, like, context is everything. The time period. Again,
Dude, I can't argue with that.
the match was a lot of fun, innovative stuff. So, up next to the show was Terry Funk and Cactus Jack.
the Funker.
Well, didn't they set it up like Terry Funk versus Cactus Jack?
It was. They had a match,
Yeah,
but
it
it just
was.
kind of ended.
Were you on your phone?
No. But didn't it? Then they did like a tag team, correct?
Well, that was the PE came out, and I'll get to this. So,
All right. Well, that's why I was a little confused. That's
so
why I was
the
saying.
match itself was Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, but they just brawled and really, really just brawled around the arena, and they were going at it. The one thing I would note too, man, about this walk and brawl, the crowd's look on their face, like. There's something about the energy in the air when you're seeing live wrestling, and depends on who's out there. Terry Funk and Cactus Jack, if you go back and watch this match, look at the fans' reactions as they're brawling by him. They have this giddiness and like a smile on their face as they're watching these guys up close just do little like brawling stuff in front of them. It's nothing great, and the match ends in a no contest kind of with a weird finish, but I'm going to get to. But I'm telling you, the fans' reactions, look at them. These people are so into this.
I got it as a note.
Do you really?
They're like wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
They
dude.
are, and it's like,
I mean, it's been a long night too.
It's
hot as
hot.
shit. No AC in that building.
but you got a unique match that you're giving these people. Terry Funk and
Dude,
Cactus.
that's why they were so down then when it first ended the way it ended.
Right.
With the run-in and shit. They were pissed.
Well, of course you
They
would
were
be.
pissed.
I mean,
They
again,
wanted to see that match go to a finish.
yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you?
That's why they had to give him the brawl afterwards. But I was disappointed because I forgot about what the finish was.
Yeah.
Okay. Look.
Oh my God, that's how we're ending this?
So, I mean, there's nothing really to the match. Like, Cactus does his, like, hangman spot in the ropes, which I always love when he hits that.
Most of it's all done before the match, though, with a little mic work, and the Cactus gets on the mic, and then he forgets that he didn't say something, grabs the mic again, and wants to hit Terry with another line, and then Terry finally grabs the mic and says, "Oh, Cactus, I love that about you. You've always been a dreamer." I guess a little.
And then
clap.
just hands it back. Like,
I don't know. They started doing a little brawl, and then they got back in the ring. I always loved, like I said, the Cactus hangman spot in the ropes. Even after losing an ear, he was still doing this.
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "That was nice."
He lost an ear doing that spot the year before with
Yeah,
Vader
he was
in
too
Japan.
fat to get himself back
Germany.
over the other side of the ropes.
Well, no, they had ropes. He's doing the hangman spot, which is where he gets his head caught in the ropes.
Yeah, I know.
They had different cable ropes over in.
And wouldn't you think he would know that before he fucking went to the ring? They had tubes with real cables in them.
Yeah, but he might have not known.
WWE was all right. Back TBS was cables with hose. USWA when I was there, cables with hose. Vince was the only guy using ropes, nice and soft ones.
Interesting.
So maybe they just had them too tight or
Well,
whatever.
it was a European tour. They were over in Germany at the time, so maybe he wasn't aware that they had different ropes. I don't know.
I think you would check them. If I'm doing that match, you better believe I'm checking that shit.
If that's one of your spots.
Yep.
Well, that or he never done the spot before, and
No,
it's
the hangman.
Nah,
that was
his
that was in
that
his
was his
routine.
stand there with his elbow off the apron onto the concrete floor back then.
It was in his standard routine of spots. They just did kind of a brawl match here. The PE.
Well, they needed nothing else.
So the PE.
What are they going to do? Tackle, drop down, hip
No,
toss?
nothing. It's Cactus and Terry Funk. That's
Right.
what you're going to do.
Well, that was the problem with the PE match before. they started out in the wrestling match when you really just needed to get to the brawl and get to the point.
Yeah.
Did you notice they did tackle, drop down, all that shit in the beginning?
Well,
of the
because those
match.
guys could go.
Wasted 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, Teddy could.
The story was bigger than the match,
Exactly.
I think, you know.
Yes.
So-
yes, exactly.
Public Enemy interferes in the match. They attacked Terry Funk, and they were leaving him for Cactus to pin him, but Cactus didn't want to pin him. And then Public Enemy starts attacking Cactus and then forced him to pin him.
You gotta like this.
It's kind of weird, right? So
I'm loving
Well,
this.
because Cactus is like, I don't want to win that way.
I don't want to win that
Right,
way.
yeah.
And so then they beat the hell out of Cactus. They throw him on top of Terry, and then they have him pin him. Then they beat him up some more, and then they both kind of come to, and they're like, man, screw these Public Enemy guys. We're going after them ourselves. And then they just beat them up themselves, and they grab some piece. I love Funk grabbing the piece of the broken table. Him and Cactus.
Cactus is carrying the whole broken table
Yeah.
in the back to the locker room.
And so they go back to
because he tried to rip off some metal boy and he couldn't rip it off, so he's like, fuck it, and he just took the whole thing. I was watching.
And then
I've had the same thing happen to me.
So then Funk and him both grab the PE and they bring him back out. And they're doing like a brawl with the PE. They're hitting him. I love Terry Funk. Was he hitting Rocco Rock or was it Johnny Grunge with the frying pan? And he's like,
Rocco.
He was hitting Rocco
A million times.
He was eyeing him up and just boop, bopping him with the frying pan.
And he got another one. He was playing cymbals off his head in the middle.
Yeah.
You can do that with those frying pans and not kill somebody.
Yeah.
You can't hit him like Cactus hit me with the cast iron one.
Funk with the frying pan is just always hilarious.
And really, if you hit him once good, it'll just break. The rivets will just break right off the handle. And it'll
Okay.
make a great sound.
Yeah, and then I don't know. This was just kind of weird because then they were asking. They got in the ring, and then Funk turns to the crowd and he's asking for chairs. So again, playing off what happened a couple weeks ago, he's asking for chairs to be thrown in, and then everybody in the building, it looks like, started to throw chairs. And this is the scene that is captured in pretty much every ECW video package from Here From Eternity. Is the sea of chairs burying the PE underneath them.
It doesn't get better than that, dude.
It's so cool and it's organic.
And Funk catching one and acting like
Oh,
Yes, he's selling it.
Cactus gets the fuck out on the other side. He's slinking against the ropes down out to his fucking the entranceway.
And then Ortiz is like, stop throwing the chairs, please.
I think he got hit with a couple of them too.
Probably.
And he, you're supposed to be standing there.
chairs in the same night. Ortiz
Yeah.
had a rough night.
Yeah, he did have a rough one out there for Bob Ortiz.
Bob?
Yeah, Bob.
And then he,
He's earning his stripes.
he disqualified Hack before Tommy. Yeah, he had a night.
Just complete chaos. He's yelling at the fans to stop, and they finally end. And
But dude, credit to like the PE for realizing the moment too and
Stay
just
the
staying
fuck
there.
under the chairs.
and then
Yeah.
selling it afterwards when they got up, and they were pissed too. They were
Yeah.
selling
Well,
it.
you gotta sell because those you're on ice. Because
Yeah.
I've been in the ring when they've thrown all the chairs in. You're on ice on top of those chairs, dude. You can blow a knee out easily.
Well, and then the PE was throwing chairs back at the fans
Yeah,
afterwards.
Rocco was-
Well, Rocco was throwing them straight up, and they were coming down. One of them landed outside the ring.
One of them landed outside, and they had one trash can that was not, or the trash can they threw too, I think.
Yeah, but
back
that
out.
was like the plastic trash can though, right? That wasn't like the steel trash
No,
cans.
that wasn't the plastic one. Yeah, that they threw in, and Terry caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, credit to them for realizing the moment and staying down and selling that. And
I mean, look, it created an all-time moment. Obviously, like I said, this was played in every ECW video package forever. It's still, if you see it on Twitter to this day, I'm sure it's going to go viral.
It was on their opening for all the time, right?
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. I know, reading over some notes from the Observer, promoter Todd Gordon was furious about the chair throwing because of the potential for an injury to a fan or wrestler from a bad throw. Gordon estimated double the number of chairs were thrown than the 7/16 show and said it would never be allowed to happen again, and was reportedly furious at Terry Funk for calling the fans to repeat the wild and dangerous scene. People were upset largely by the main event's shortness and the lack of a finish, but were raving about the quality of some of the matches on the show. I guess the
Must have been talking about Sabu and
Sabu and
Scorp.
Scorp, and I mean, I guess the PE and the Bad Breed for the time too. I
I
mean,
was going to say that the
Well, yeah,
two
because all the
longest
fans
things
had
that
a
they
better
saw.
view than The viewers at home did.
too.
Yeah, I mean, look, this
Yeah,
show.
that's a good point.
Again, guys, if you watch the show, which I always want you guys to watch the shows that we're watching this week. You got to watch it with eyes from 1994 versus 2024 eyes. It is something really.
Hey, you're not getting Will Ospreay out of here.
Yeah, but it's something really cool to see, like the genesis of a lot of these characters and the early performance.
I mean, the beginning of Tommy and Hack. Like
Yeah.
The bit, you're getting Infant Sabu and
Taz.
Scorp and Mikey
And Taz,
yeah, like Shane, super young, like.
I know, and those pants Shane came out.
What was he
with.
wearing? Like biker? Was he riding a bicycle to the
I
arena
know.
that day?
Like, dude, would you ride from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing all these guys like later in their career now, like you get to see them in their infant stages of their career. So like it's a good look back to see, beginning to end.
It is, and I wanted to do the show because of the wild scene at the end of it, Ben. Could you imagine going to that
It's
show
iconic.
and leaving that afterwards? Like you would be like the adrenaline in
I
you
do
as
a
a
chair
fan.
and then Terry fucking did get arrested.
Right, you're coming back. You're coming back in
yelling
2
at
weeks.
the parking lot.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, that was sick. Like,
Yeah, dude, you imagine how pumped those people are leaving that freaking show?
That's ECW, right?
Yep.
Like even though you gave them a bunch of non-finishes and some shitty matches, this was a memorable ass show.
I know, leaving the show, charging past all those old ladies waiting to get in for bingo.
Yeah, hit her with a chair.
Give her a stunner.
ECW. That was the show this week, guys. Certainly really cool stuff. What did you guys think of the show overall, Ollie?
I mean, the beginning of it was a little lackluster, but it picked up at the end.
I mean, it's
And
good.
it has its moments, for what it was, especially like we said, like the chair moment, and then you have Tommy and Hack. So
Yeah. Hack, what did you think of the show?
A lot of guys got this Sosa Motes right there. Like you said, we see a lot of young guys in there, just not even like anywhere near the expert of their craft yet.
Yeah. No, and you got a classic 911 and Mr. Hughes match as well.
yeah, Whipwreck was still wearing his knee pads on his knees.
Yeah, he hadn't evolved into the lower boot wearer yet.
Yeah. All right, guys. Next week on the show, we're going to be reviewing AEW All In from Wembley Stadium. I know the show will be out on Monday.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Cannot wait for that show. Just some notes here, guys. As always,
You'll be watching,
you
loser.
gotta.
I have to. It's my job now that I'm part of the.
I know.
Yeah,
you'll
right.
Be,
You
I
watched
know.
before it was
and
your
we'll,
job,
And
you
we'll
liar.
hear you from upstairs in your room popping for every match.
Yeah, you'll be going nuts. I can't wait to see how many stars you give some of these
okay.
matches. Guys, definitely always.
It was good what they did with Rhea and Dom the other night.
What are you talking
We're talking about a
WWE?
completely different
No,
company.
AEW.
Oh God,
Rhea and Dom are in
not
WWE.
I know, but weren't we talking about the All In pay per view?
Yes,
Yeah,
and what
which
does
is
Rhea
AEW.
and Dom have to do with that?
I thought that was AEW.
You're probably thinking
I thought
the
the
Bash,
Bash
the
was
Bash
all-
or Berlin. No, there's two different.
This guy. You see what we got to deal with, people?
Yes,
Can't bring
this
him
guy.
anywhere.
Oh my
Hack
God.
check if Rhea and Dom are in
Yeah,
AEW.
check that, Ollie. Yeah, we'll see if they're.
Well, they should be.
Did they
We know
jump-
Ricochet just signed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Ricochet just signed. Certainly excited to see him.
Do we get any feedback? Kurt Angle's still alive, right?
Kurt Angle is still alive as of 8/21.
Well, who said that, me? Well, I never said Kurt
else?
Angle was dead.
Yes, you did. A couple
No,
weeks
I
ago
didn't.
on
Yeah,
the
you
show.
mistook
Roll
it
the
for
tape.
Yeah, no,
you
you
mistook
did.
it for Kurt Hennig.
You did.
said Kurt Angle.
yeah, you
That's
were
right.
talking about
Yeah.
you
No,
and
that's not a
Chava.
mistake. That's the slip of the tongue.
Kurt,
tip
all
of the
Kurt's
tongue,
are the
the
same
Never
to you, I
thought
guess.
that in my brain.
All right, guys, you have to check out the merch. It should be shipping soon. If you haven't yet got a shirt, get one now. The other thing too, leave us a review. If you guys are a fan of the show, tell a friend. Leave us a review.
Yeah, are we doing any good?
We're doing great, man. We got a 4.9 rating on
He's
Spotify.
asking the people.
Is it out of 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
the
tell
rating
you.
out of 5?
Yes, the rating's out of 5.
You know your job.
No, I know.
Well, actually,
No, we are doing great, Hack. Everybody says it.
we have a 4.9.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. What's our lowest rating? Is what I want to know.
4.5. Somebody didn't like a lot of the coughing on the show. Mr. Penn.
Or the nose blown.
Yeah, or the nose blowing, or the fact that you get everything wrong. I don't know. Maybe that was also in there.
Yeah. Or the multiple misspoken words
That
coming out of your mouth.
You've killed people that are actually alive. Other than that, we're doing
No,
great.
I haven't seen
I like
many,
your voice of the caller, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I haven't seen many bad
right,
reviews, I think,
right.
which is a good thing, but
Yeah.
So,
As always, guys, send us in questions to the show at sandmanpod@gmail.com. Up first is Andy Lawler from Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, Andy. Are you one of Jerry's? Wait, is Jerry? Do we need to send? Is Jerry doing good or not good?
I'm not aware.
I don't think he's doing too good, but hey, if you're going to pray for somebody, pray for Jerry Lawler.
I haven't heard anything. Is he supposedly not doing good?
Yeah, he wasn't.
A while
He had a
back.
stroke, I
He
think.
had a stroke a while back. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
pray for
don't
Jerry.
remember that.
Okay.
Jerry taught me a shitload in like 10 matches, dude. Unbelievable.
Writing in is Andy Lawler from Birmingham, Alabama. What was Hack's most painful bump? Any lingering pain current day from the extreme wrestling style?
I like that question. I don't think I've ever heard him answer this question.
most
The bump when you
painful one-
broke your neck.
Yeah, the one where Cactus turned me over on the table, which was my fault. It has to be that one, yeah.
That's number one. Is there anything
But
else?
you said you didn't even like really. Well, you felt it, but you didn't.
Well,
but-
my neck was hurt, but I'm just a freaking man.
Okay. He's
I
just
wrestled the next week. I should have been in a halo like the Pitbull was.
I know, but
Exactly a freaking halo.
You're
like
an
him with
insane
screws
person.
in my
Well, and it
head.
was what you didn't find out till like 2 years later. You actually
3 years after the junkyard match.
So that bump
4
was
years
like
5
later.
years.
that
4 years
bump was
later.
the biggest one where you were like, "Fuck, that hurt." Like
Yeah,
that
it hurt for
got it.
weeks.
Okay.
I just thought I had a hurt neck.
Do you have anything else as like number two that comes to mind?
Not really.
No,
And
it's
then,
just a gold
and
medal.
then your neck just eventually stopped hurting.
Yeah. It fused after like 6 weeks, I guess.
Right.
Well, you know, if you're in a
And
case,
then
how long you in a case for your
did you
ankle?
ever feel it like in any other bumps? Really, like after? Or
No, it never bothered me. I wrestled to a broken neck, should be paralyzed, dead, whatever, and have no ill effects from it. My back will bother me a little bit every now and then. My neck never, unless I sleep on it wrong.
Not to be confused with Kurt Angle winning the gold medal on a broken freaking neck, but Hack did work 3 years with a broken neck.
4.
4, sorry.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Great question, Andy. Keep writing us in, man. Skinny from
Andy, can you please make sure that you vote for me for having the best team? Just saying.
God, you're soliciting votes here. What a loser!
Yes!
What a
Hey,
loser!
dude, I know. This is a Democratic convention going on tonight.
Andy,
right?
what a
fabulous question.
All right.
Please vote.
Up next on the show, Skinny from Boston writes in.
All right, Skinny.
First off, love the show. Y'all are great together. Hack, I love the stories in between. Anyways, me and my friends would attend the ECW Revere, Massachusetts show at the Greyhound Racing Park back in the
Loved
days.
it.
Some of the best shows I've ever been to. Anyways, I was wondering if Hack had any great stories from his shows there or anywhere else in Massachusetts.
No, I hated freaking Massachusetts because the big dig was going on then. To get out of the airport and just get to Revere, which probably now takes like 10, 15 minutes, used to take like 45 minutes. So I hated Boston, and then there was something about you couldn't buy alcohol after a certain time of day or night. But obviously the mass transit incident, I wondered if, let us know, dude, were you there for the man? Because that was in Revere.
Well, he said this, Hack. I got a good one I'll send next week. Hack should love. So you got to write us in next week,
but
Skinny.
he also could have me doing the leg drop hanging from the rafters above the ring. I think on Mikey.
On Mikey?
Yeah, that was another good spot.
All right, well, so you're going to have to write us in again next week, Skinny, because we want to hear back from you. So that was his answer. He does not like Boston. So there you go. Up next
or
here.
the Celtics.
Or the Celtics. No, he doesn't hate them like we do. He's different.
What?
Oh, you do? Because whenever we said fuck Boston,
Dude, I
they were
lost to the Celtics. Fucking, do you ever watch, what it was, Showtime?
Winning time.
Winning Time, dude. Dude, I
Yeah.
hate Boston. I hate Larry Bird.
Well, why when we were saying that when we were in the playoffs, you were just like, nah, you guys don't hate Boston.
Well, because it's not the way it is anymore.
'Cause you hate 'em on a different
The rivalry's
level?
not there anymore.
Because you hate them so much more
Well,
than
no,
we do.
it's
is
because
that-
back then there was only 3 teams in the NBA that mattered, and Boston was
It was
beating
Boston,
Philly
LA, and
every
Philly.
night.
Yeah.
There was 4 teams in the whole decade of the 80s that went to the NBA Finals. Boston, the Sixers, LA, and Seattle one year. That's it.
No, there was
Nope.
other teams.
Look it up.
That's it?
Do a hack check on that one. What's his name? LA won 5,
Sixers won 1.
and Boston won 5, and they won 1 all throughout that like 10, 11 years.
Yeah, we
we'll
were watching,
we'll
and
check
it was
that out.
definitely post
at least definitely post 85, where it was Lakers Boston were the only one, like the only ones that were in the finals.
And we lost to Portland in
what,
78.
Yeah,
when
78.
We were up 2-0. They started
Stop.
a fight against us, and they beat us 4 games
My dad
straight.
still talks about George McGinnis.
But
man.
how about Maurice Lucas beat the shit out of him that night, I
You sound
think.
exactly like my dad here, Mac. Up next on the show is Bob from Broomall, right, Nate?
Hey, Bob from Brew
Bob the
Wall.
Builder.
I'm with the Hack. I'm with Hack and the Hack Pack. The Olympics were an absolute blast, and I'm having a withdrawal. Obviously, it would never happen. But suppose wrestling was an Olympic sport.
Dude, I swear to God, I can't believe you're saying that.
Hold on, I'm reading his.
It should be.
Let me read his question for you, okay? Which active man, woman, and tag team are you sending for an American contracted Team USA? Medals are being decided by work rate. I'm sending Bryan Danielson, Charlotte Flair, and FTR. Thank you as always for the great content.
I mean,
So
that's
this has
Wow, what a good question.
Great question. So this is a Team USA that
And
we're
you really
sending.
got to think hard about American here, because like Kenny Omega, not American.
Not American.
Ospreay,
Kenny-
not
yeah,
American.
not
Yeah.
American.
Well, but you have to also understand your top is going to be Mexicans, freaking United States,
Japanese.
Canadians, Japanese guys,
English.
and some European dudes.
England, you know.
But you're not getting South
Teams-
Africans that are going. You know what I mean? The
Sure, you are.
pool's
Haven't you
very
ever seen
small.
soft ground wrestling?
I was gonna say, what's that promotion?
Yeah, soft ground
wrestling.
Yeah, you got to check it out, dude. It's like an African
Okay, I'm
thing.
not checking out fucking soft ground wrestling. It
You
sounds like
should.
I'm going to porn.
No, it's
Soft ground wrestling sounds like porn.
Never
It
mind.
sounds like apartment porn wrestling.
back to the topic
It
here.
does.
Back to the topic.
Soft. When you say soft before wrestling, it's definitely porn.
Yeah,
is not.
stepsister, soft ground
Stop.
wrestling.
It's got nothing to do with porn. Anyway,
I'm
back
just
to the
saying it
Olympics. Do
sounded
you have
like
any
that.
guys, Ollie, for Team USA?
So for a woman, I'm gonna take Bianca Belair.
Great choice.
That is a great one. Well, maybe we should save this for another day.
Well, let's do it now. It's Olympic time.
Tag
No, I hate your
team,
guts.
I would probably have to agree with FTR, and I'm sending MJF over.
Wow. Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to pull a fucking tie and go Axe and Smash Demolition from WWF.
You're sending Demolition over at their age?
Yeah, no, not at their age. I thought, it has to be.
Yeah, Team USA right now for 2024.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's tough. That's tough. I don't even know. Randy Orton's going.
Yeah, we knew
Yeah,
that.
Randy's going for sure.
Okay.
A tag team, I don't even. Oh wow, tag team. Wow, that's tough. I guess I would have to send the Young Bucks.
Okay.
you mother.
I like
You
it.
know
That's
what
what I
I'm
was
That's a
saying.
good one.
No,
Somebody
yeah.
like
That's a
that,
good
yeah,
one.
because I know they're American. You
And-
know what I mean?
and the
I know they're
performance.
working
I have
for the
another
Americans.
good one
Yeah.
in my head, but I'm gonna wait and see if Ty
Yeah,
says
I
it.
All right.
did.
All right, I'm gonna have to send Seth Rollins.
Are you sure he's not a Canadian?
No, he's
No, he's born in
American.
Iowa.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send Seth Rollins, and I guess I will have to send Becky.
She's not American.
yeah, that's right. all right, demolition.
That was my Bob Ortiz pick after I found
That was a
you
great
picked
joke.
Paulie.
When you hit Bob Ortiz on Saturday, I was so proud of you, man. I had marked out big time for that, dude.
I guess I'll go Bailey.
Okay.
All right.
Bailey, Seth, and oh man, tag team's tough. I was gonna go Young Bucks.
Oh, Bailey's good.
I was gonna go Young Bucks, but now I guess I will have to. Let's go
who's my girl?
Let's go the Miz and R-Truth.
Okay.
The real
No,
truth.
that's not who I was
Interesting.
Okay, just so for my girl, I'm gonna have to go with Flair.
I'm like not. I'm
You're going Charlotte as well.
yeah, for my girl.
For me, I don't know, man. I guess I can't disagree with you about Bryan Danielson, but since you already said him, Bob, let's go with Swerve Strickland.
That's a great one.
For women's wrestler, let's go Jade Cargill. No, I'm kidding.
You would have lost that immediately.
Give it a couple years though.
No, yeah. Give it a couple years. She could definitely win a gold medal.
You notice she hasn't been on for a very,
They've
very
been
long
protecting her, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, what did I say?
You know, female women's. Just give me Britt Baker. I'll do Britt Baker.
All right.
And then tag team. I can't disagree with your FTR choice, man. FTR is awesome, but just to be different, I'll go the Acclaimed.
All right.
That's
that'll
what
be
I
my
thought
pick.
Ty was gonna pick.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I
Dude, I was like mind cramping on tag teams. I was
It's
like,
not the
man.
best time for
Yeah,
tag
I
teams
pulled
right
the
now.
Young Bucks out of my ass.
I
bitch.
know. I was
that was
going
a-
young.
that was a great-
I was going Young Bucks, and I was
I
like,
kind
damn.
of pulled them right out of my ass.
Bob, what an awesome question. Thank you for writing it
Yeah,
down.
That was a great question.
Great
dude.
question.
Come back with another one next week.
Writing in is Brian Mills from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I sure hope you got your
Alberta.
daughter back, Brian.
Well, hold on. He
It's
just
been a while.
listen. He wrote in here. Okay. Hope everyone is well. Just got back from an unexpected trip to Paris.
Oh, man.
Let's go for the Olympics.
I don't know when he went to Paris. It seems like Brian Mills there. Okay.
He's
Quick-
got an extraordinary set of skills.
Yeah, he does. This guy, yeah, and it's writing into the Sandman podcast.
Yeah.
Quick question for the team. I saw an interesting thread on Twitter comparing Shane Douglas's heel character with the 1999 Triple H main event character. Do you think Hunter?
I saw that as well.
Do you think Hunter directly stole from the franchise in order to finally get over as a main eventer? I mean, that's a really interesting thing. I saw that same thread.
What?
I think a lot of the mannerisms of that are kind of like just generic heel tropes, but I also find it hard to believe that Triple H was not inspired a little bit, especially with things like the look.
All right, think about the times. Is it Triple H doing that fucking dude where he bends on one knee or whatever?
Hunter Helmsley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he still
This
doing
is after that. This is after that. This is after DX.
I know, but what?
Yeah.
But that's what Hack is saying is that he's that character, and then he's
He's still
transitioning
bye-byes. Who the
into
hell
a
am
more
I stealing?
edgy character, and that's where I think he might be thinking.
That's exactly
he was
where I'm
looking
going.
at Shane.
All right, I didn't see this thread, but like, what exactly is he saying that he stole?
Just like the kind of promos that he would cut, the matches that he would have, the Kangol hat he started wearing, the look, kind of like the very Shane Douglas kind
I'd
of
have to look into
vibes.
that. All right.
And then you start seeing Triple H on screen more with Stephanie.
Well, this is the point he's still
And you always
associated with
see-
China. He's still with China at this
and then
point.
you always see whatever
Shane
the
and
case.
Franny.
He starts being on screen with a woman,
Right.
just like Shane always is.
Yes. I mean, but to me though, like,
All right, that's
But to me,
interesting.
it's like everybody takes from everybody in the wrestling business. It is what it is, and and so it's.
I wasn't the first one to
I
carry
wouldn't-
Kane to the ring.
I wouldn't call it stealing necessarily.
do I think he was maybe influenced about some of this stuff?
Probably.
Probably.
Okay, but think about this. You know Shane Douglas and you know Dick Flair.
But influence
Do
is
you-
what keeps the business
do you-
going.
Well, true. But if you think if Shane actually thought that, he would have started dropping Hunter in there with Dick Flair.
100% Hack. That's a great point.
You know what I'm saying? If Shane really felt that, he would have hit one and the other, both at the same time.
That's very true. Kind of though, after this point, I mean, he goes to
Shane couldn't do a promo without saying Flair's name.
No,
It made
became
no
his
sense
character.
to me.
It became his character. Every single time on the mic was calling out Dick
Yeah,
Flair.
it made no sense to me at all.
I loved it as a kid, so I don't know. It's a great question, Brian. He also says the show is getting better every week. Any idea if we're going to see any more guests? I bet Stone Cold would be down for it if you asked him. Man, dude, that would be amazing. I don't know.
Dude,
that would
well,
be-
you got to tell more people. I ain't having a guest come on here until I make it big myself.
Oh, I like that attitude. Okay, Hack. We are trying to make it big.
Oh,
here,
dude,
guys.
I could have Bubba, Francine, Tommy Dreamer. I need to make it bigger on my own
Right.
before I have them come
No,
to my show.
Hack, I absolutely feel it.
So tell your friends, tell your mama, your grandma, everybody listen.
Yeah, everybody check out the show. Pat from Leominster, Massachusetts writes in,
Leominster.
what's up, guys? Mr. MC Brian Tosh, spawns of Sandman, Oliver, and Tyler, and the legend himself, Hack. Question. Back in the days when traveling with the boys in ECW and other organizations, is there any motel horror stories that stand out to Hack? Like ending up in a rat and roach or bed bug infested
Dude,
dump?
there's a million of them, but that's why you can't. It's very hard to designate one because some promoters will put you. I mean, you Motel 6 is like the 4-star Wyndham to some of these guys. You know what I mean?
They leave the light on for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but the best stories ever came out of being in Philadelphia with all the ECW guys, like Mustafa being naked out in the middle of the street after smoking pencil shaving, he's getting arrested, shit like that, you know.
Okay. He also says, Any insane police or SWAT standoffs?
Well, Captain Lou Albano's birthday party.
We'll get into that in another. Yo, he just.
Pussies.
We'll have to get into that in another. That might be a whole episode, actually, because man,
I don't remember that.
we'll have to check the police report. No, that's a great
That's
question.
a good one.
That's a great question.
And I wouldn't even have thought of that one.
All right.
Well, yeah, because you don't remember.
Any other police stories that you
Made
can remember off the top of your
television,
head?
like America's Biggest Idiots or something.
Remember that on like True TV or
Oh,
something
dude,
like
I'm in like 2009, episode 11 or something like that.
Oh God.
Hack check that, please.
Yeah. He knows what episode he was on American Idiot, but he didn't know Kurt
Why
Angle was
wouldn't I know
alive.
that?
Okay. All right.
Any police standoffs you can remember, Hack, that you're thinking of?
Not necessarily
Or
with
a
me.
SWAT team?
Dude, cops come around, I'm like, yes sir, no sir, whatever the frick you want, sir.
Okay.
I'm sure.
As always, Kevin from Dayton, Ohio writes in.
Yeah, you don't give.
Kevin, I saw you guys recently did a fantasy draft at Suplex Vintage Wrestling.
And I was the best. Thank you so much, Kevin.
My question
How
is...
can you be the best when you keep worrying about how you lost so bad?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Not the point.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Dude, this is politics right
All
here.
right, so hold on. The question is...
Please vote.
My question is, why wasn't Francine taken first overall? The Queen of Extreme would make any locker room better instantly and is a proven draw in the business.
Because Fonzie was a better pick.
Listen,
Kevin.
I need work rate.
Kevin, you got to let go of this Francine fascination that you have.
Or
dude.
let go of your cock while you're thinking about the Francine fascination.
Wow, Helen.
Was that a little self-admission, Hack?
Oh, dude, what do you kid, dude? I've been there. I know exactly how you're feeling.
You're giving
I
Kevin.
spend weekends with her.
You're giving Kevin jerk off instructions right now. That is weird, dude.
I have to.
All right,
Coming
that
from the
is-
Chafe King?
Oh God, Kevin, keep writing this in, but Francine, you might have to watch out for Kevin there, okay? Guys,
Damn it,
next week.
she's got to watch out for me. Me and her stay in the same hotels.
All right, dude, take it easy. Take it easy. All right,
Sometimes
guys,
in the same room.
take next week on the
Dude,
show.
I would tell you and 5 times in the last, or 3 times in the last year, me and her have shared a hotel room.
All right, don't self-incriminate yourself here now.
Next week on the show, we are reviewing
No, it's not like
AEW All In from Wembley. But before we go, as always,
It's not like that.
the cane of the week and the toast of the week, Hack.
Nah, it's easy. Little League World Series. Venezuela, they're getting the toast of the week because they're winning it all. And the team that just lost, the team.
The Philly? Newtown?
Yeah,
Newtown
Newtown.
PA team?
Newtown?
Yeah, I'm caning all them
You're
kids.
caning
Every
kids?
single one of them for not winning.
Oh, God.
Just line up in front of me, dude. I'll break it over all your head.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Coach first.
At least it's not the Phillies this week. Guys, like, share, review, and we will catch you next week. AEW All In.
Peace.
Peace.